Allow me to thank my brother and friend, President Ibrahim Traore, for the warm and fraternal welcome given to me and my delegation, and to also thank the entire Burkina Faso people for this welcome. It is a visit placed under the sign of friendship, of fraternity, and it is also a working visit that I have come to make. I also came to say thank you to President Traore and the Burkina Faso people for sending a delegation to Dakar during my swearing-in, and it was an honor done to me and to all the Senegalese people on that solemn occasion. But above all, I came to reaffirm my commitment and the commitment of Senegal alongside the brotherly people of Burkina Faso and the Sahel, so that together, we can work to strengthen relations between the two countries on the commercial level, on the exchanges, in terms of integration and possible intermingling between the two countries, also through the Malian stage, for better circulation of goods and people in the sense of achieving African integration which holds us together. And I also came to tell him all my solidarity and my brotherhood with the brotherly Burkina Faso people in the difficult period they are going through, and also to tell him my admiration for the valor of this people, their fighting spirit, and their resilience. And I know that the dignity and honor which they have demonstrated, I mean the Burkinabés with their leadership, very quickly, with the active solidarity of countries like Senegal and other African countries will triumph and face the challenges which are somewhat delaying the takeoff of all African countries, particularly in the Sahel. We have common challenges. Today, the most pressing is the security challenge, the challenges of irregular migration, the challenges of the fight against trafficking of human beings and trafficking of illicit substances. And it is only through consultation, exchanges of information, and joint efforts that we will succeed together in gaining the upper hand over these scourges of the modern state, which are today blighting many countries and which are delaying, as I said earlier, the takeoff of these countries. I will leave Burkina Faso very comforted by the open-mindedness and availability of President Ibrahim Traore, and above all by his availability to strengthen the Dakar-Ouagadougou axis, which is to further develop exchanges and cooperation. We also touched on the subject of ECOWAS, as I did in the countries I have visited so far, and I understand that today, the positions are somewhat fixed. But I perceive in each of these positions, that in these positions, there's a window worth opening, which can allow to untie a thread, no matter tight it may be, of dialogue. I always say that we see it today, at the level of ECOWAS, that the doors of dialogue are certainly closed, but that we must not close the windows and draw the curtains either. That, we must leave spaces to help us, to argue if necessary, but to empty what is in us, and above all, to allow countries which are a little further away on the physical level from the theaters of operations linked to the insecurity of the Sahel, understand what the countries which are experiencing it directly on the ground are experiencing, and have more compassion to feel concerned, because in the scourges, there is always a starting zone. And when we see today's expansion, we know that no country is spared, either directly or indirectly, and that is also why I take advantage of these friendly working visits, which are particularly focused on bilateral cooperation, and I take the opportunity to address these questions. And I express my willingness to continue working on both sides, so that there are areas of convergence which still allow us to discuss what is not working, and to see what does not work changed, because we have the historical responsibility and the legacy of our founding fathers, in relation to this whole to fight within ECOWAS, to stay together, so that ECOWAS remains what it should never have ceased to be. That is, an organ of integration, which was cited as an example that we must perpetuate, that we must strengthen, and that we must protect against all attempts which tend to divert ECOWAS from its objective of African integration, and from what its nature is, that is the ECOWAS of the people, and that it continues to be that, and that above all, it continues to be a framework where we will address together the challenges that I cited earlier.